Hey Facebook, I just came off of Instagram, so I thought I would go ahead and grace my presence with you and tell you what is going on. What is going on with this girl? And she posting all these things about dating out your race and eHarmony and all these different dating apps. So what's going on with me? What's going on with me is that we're getting ready to do a study. One of the studies that I'm getting ready to do is to come out of my comfort zone. The greatest thing that we always do is actually stay in our comfort zone and stay in the familiar. We are familiar with the things that we know and the people that we grew up with and everyday life. Well, that also has to do with dating. And I'm learning this because as I start exploring dating, one of the things were actually coming out of my familiar. When you are dating or when you're with someone that you're familiar with, they are powerful because they now can pull you in and know you and know about you. So it normally goes a certain way, but now you're unfamiliar, you're powerful. So it's like taking your power back. I did sign up with eHarmony, and when I signed up with eHarmony, everybody that I was chosen for me was actually someone that was out of my race. I had to be honest just tonight with my mentor, my coach, the person that is actually there coaching me to push me in doing this. So I'm going to tell you how I got into this. As you know, if you've been following a lot of my videos, and if you have not, I am going to explain to you. I have actually been on this dating scene where I actually have met met a person that I really like, and I saw that I was attaching myself to them. Someone else came in, I attached myself to them, and when we attach really quick, the attachment means that we're not forcing our will on the person, and I had to learn how to detach, and I found out that I had a problem detaching. So when I signed up with eHarmony and I got bubbles, I got like knots in my stomach to see the people that chose me, I was like, am I really ready to date someone outside of my race? Now, as I was growing up with my grandmother, she said, I'm grooming you for a Caucasian man. And I'm telling you, she'll say, I'm grooming you for a white man. And all of us, as we were growing up, she has groomed us for it. So I was not surprised of who was chosen for me to date. But then the knots in my stomach was saying I felt like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't confident enough. I didn't know how to detach myself and love the person for who they are, not for what I know. That's saying if you're practicing a different religion, if they're homosexual, whatever they are, you got to still love them for who they are, and that's the detachment. But I was so used to attaching myself to people. I've learned that the dating scene has actually changed. I'm learning the polyamorous relationship, where that means that where men now have multiple women and women are okay with it. That's not me. I want a monogamous relationship, but I don't want someone that have 50 people. But we did this. We are the one that did this. We cheated. We're not loyal to people. We're not loyal to our mate. So what the young people have decided to do is, well, the hell with it. We'll just go ahead and make it open. They have open relationships. They have it in Hollywood. Open relationships. For me to do this dating experiment, I have to know, one, what's out there, what I like, what I don't like, what I can tolerate, what I can't tolerate, the divorce rate. And I went through every dating app there was in my phone this morning. I found from every nationality, I mean, from this nationality, that nationality, have a dating app. Why is there so many dating apps? Why is it that we have come to a time of life that we can't go to the store and meet that right person by just them saying hello? So the world has really changed. I also learned that once we meet a person and we start talking about, or we look at them as a piece of meat, oh, I need to get with that man, I need to get with that woman, we now have broken a law. So now, there is a law that I also practice, and the law for Christians, they don't do it, but Jesus did. Buddha, Hinduism, it's very big, and it's called the law of sex. So I talked about the law of sex on Instagram, and how the law of sex has to do with the animalistic, the animal kingdom of what they do. It's just sex, 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 sex. I talked about National Geographic before with y'all, and say that if we're just looking at the person just to have sex with them, we just broke a law. This is why it never works, because we're actually collaborating our souls together. And when we don't really even have to have physical sex. We can have spiritual sex. We can have, because your soul has connected to that person. And I is called, the soul connection, soul ties. And this is what happens when we see a person and we just look at them for their genitals. In one of my experiments, and I talked about that too, I'm not going to dinner. I will not be going to dinner on the first date. Our first date will be, and I mean, it will be their choice, because I have to learn how to back down and let a man be a man, or take authority of his masculinity. I also learned within me that I have a lot of testosterone, a lot of masculinity in me. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to bring down. That's why I'm also doing this experiment. But one of the things that I am trying to, I am going to do on a date is to suggest us going to a museum, suggest us going to a play, suggest us going to the park and walk. Because why are we going to eat? That's what animals does. The law of sex. So we're going to go eat. We're going to have sexual intercourse. And if it doesn't work out, we might end up just fighting. No. I don't live in the second dimension. And I was talking earlier about the dimensions, and there's different dimensions. And the second dimension, we call it animalistic dimension. Like that's the animals. They think like animals. We just want to eat, the natural basic survival skill. Eat, screw, and sleep. And even fight. Then you have the third dimension. The third dimension, they have education now, and they add it in, but they still do the same thing. So it's like your frequency, you're thinking. So I think higher now. I don't think low. We always say, my mentor always tell me, I will not come down off my tree for you. And why we use the analogy of the tree, because the tree is higher. And when I come down to your level, I've now entered your kingdom, and I want to stay up in a higher kingdom of where God has placed me, the universe has surrounded me with. I'm supposed to be in the cosmos. I'm not supposed to be down there. So in my experiment, I am really going to do things differently, learn how to back down from my masculinity. Because yes, we do have our masculine side, we have our feminine side, and in those sides, women, this is what happens to us. We become more dominant, and we take away, especially a man that is timid, a man that might not know much about themselves, we take away that from them. And this is why you will see certain men end up with certain cultures that know how to respect their men, regardless of how dumb and stupid we might sit there and say they are. They see a gem inside that man, in that person. So this is going to be a very great experiment. And a lot of our masculinity have to do with our fear when we were growing up. And I am one that grew up in a very dominant household, and the household that the women took over in when it comes down to my family, the women were the head. So that's why I could tear a man down, like not by hitting or anything. I would tear them down with my mouth. And that's one thing we have to learn. Now, I am going to learn these different type of cultures, and I know that there's like Indian. I hope that they do pick me some Indian men, pick me some Chinese men. I would love to go and actually learn them and learn who they are and learn their culture. I don't think I'll do a Jew, but might be. But I know that there are certain cultures that women, we have to learn how to respect them. And that's what I need to work on. I need to work on respecting them is actually basically respecting myself. So I need to learn how to work on respecting me. I'm not dating because I want to find Mr. Right. I am dating because I want to be Mrs. Right. I want to be right. The only way I'm going to finish this journey, and I told my mentor, it's so funny how I explained to my mentor that I feel that I'm in another class. And I've been in several different classes. I've been in a class of finance. I had to learn how to regroup, reshape, redo my finance. So now I'm in a course of dating and learning how to date. I'm not going to really come on a lot and explain to you what's going on through the course of it, but I am writing the book, and we are putting together a program. Now, one of the things that I want to put out there is that my mentor, she's awesome, and she said, you need sugar back in your spice. So I'm adding back the sugar back in my spice. I'm really spicy. I told her today that I didn't want to do eHarmony. I don't want to do no dating site. I said, can I just go ahead and do instant grits? Why can't we have the instant grits? Can I just go ahead and throw some water in a pot and put grits in it and put salt and pepper and some butter in it and be happy? I don't want to do this because it's time consuming. It takes a lot out of you, because I had to learn how to detach. I can't be emotionally attached to it, and I'm really still practicing that part. So this is going to be a challenge for me. And she laughed at me and she said, no, we need to put some sugar in those grits. I said, oh, so can we make the cream of wheat man then? You know, I have to be funny. I just don't want to do it. But I'm going to take the challenge. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. What is it that I really like? What is it that who am I really called to be with? And who and what can I tolerate? It's going to be fun. So, ladies, get ready. Get ready. We're getting ready to have an etiquette class. We're going to teach you how to date again. But the only way that I can teach you how to date again, she's mastered it already. But only way I can teach you how to date again or be a part of this is by going on this journey. Men, we're also talking about putting back the gentleman in the men, because it's gotten crazy out here. Men is about prey. They're preying on us. They're preying on our emotions, manipulation, being cunning. And I'm not holding nothing against y'all, because we're doing the same thing too. We're all playing a game. I'm coming out the game, and I'm going to learn lessons of who I really am so I can close this particular chapter and move on. So I'm excited about it. Dating out my race. Oh, wow. This is going to be really good. I'm just excited about it, and I thank you all for coming on and explaining let me explain to you why I've been posting these things, because it's time for me to come out my comfort zone, the unfamiliar. We run from the unfamiliar, and like I said, we always run to the familiar because we know it so well. Come out of the unfamiliar. We'll always be, okay, that was a spider. All right. We'll always be stuck. We'll always go around the merry-go-round. And I've been come off those Ferris wheels, the merry-go-round, and round, repeating the same thing over and over again, and expecting a different result. Every time we do that, we just have to go back and repeat it again and learn again. Some of us just die, not physically. We die mentally. So either I go check out and never explore love again, or I go through this and learn the right way of what love is. We don't know intimacy. We know intercourse. This journey and this experiment has nothing to do with intercourse. It have all to do with intimacy. Not into him I'm going to see, it's into me I'm going to see. I want to see what's in me. What makes me mad. What triggers my emotions. What he can say, what he cannot say. How comfortable I feel with them. My confidence. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. And since let me also plug this in. Since I lost a lot of weight, I have had different men approach me. I've had Indian. I had one Indian man in Walmart. That doggone near got a roller skate to almost call security because he was following me up and down. He was an older gentleman. But my thought for him was, he's like, do you have a husband? Do you have this? Do you have that? Could I be your boyfriend? I'm looking at him like, you're breaking the law of sex and you want some sex. That's what you want. So I just ran. I'm like, nah, that's no. But I did meet, other people and there's people that knows me now and know I lost weight, and I'm a little appalled by them chasing after me now, due to the fact that you couldn't have liked me when I was bigger. So I see your intentions. No, you're not the one for me. You will never be the one for me because your intentions are not right. So, in my experiment, I know that I will not be going back to the past. I have had, in going through this journey of learning me and dating and everything, I have had people, like I said, in my past, has come in and that have someone. And all their conversation is about what they want to screw and how they want to screw. Do you think I really want to be with you? No, I don't think so. This is just such a new journey for me. And I'm ready. I'm ready to see. Let's see what the other side have. And another thing, and let me leave you with this. The reason why I am so excited about actually dating outside of my race and doing this explore thing, to get ready for our program and what we're about to do. Prejudiceness. If we date outside of our race, would we now understand each other better? Would we understand the opposite, the other culture? What they like, what they don't like? I think it's going to be beautiful, wonderful. Many of us don't even need to even call it a date. Maybe network. Maybe become friends very close with the other side, and we would stop being so biased against one another. If someone learns my culture, which is Jamaican, and we have certain things, I was telling my coach that one of the things that we are taught as a Jamaican person, a Jamaican woman, I was taught to have sex. I was taught at an early age. It's a cultural thing that my grandmother actually, she was, master of it and taught us. So keeping a man in that area was never a problem to me. That was our culture. Another one about culture, we take care of our grandchildren, like the oldest. And so there's different things in our culture. And another thing, Norma, I see you. Another thing that we do is that we actually, Norma, you have me laughing, so I'm trying to get back on point, on topic. Okay, so having sex. What else is our culture? Our culture is taking care of the grandchildren. Another part of naked. The body is beautiful. The body is so beautiful. And my grandmother had a problem with keeping on clothes around people. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, Grandma, would you put on some clothes, please? And, will people visit or my cousins, the boy? But that's our culture. And when you date people outside of your race, you learn their culture, that it's okay. You cannot come in my grandmother's house with shoes on. You have to take off your shoes. So these are the things that I am... That's okay, Norma. These are the things that I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to have to learn new culture. What I like, what I don't like, Can I, not them, can I deal with... the nakedness. And my coach, I love her. She said, I go to Miami and I go to the nude beach and I walk amongst them. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'll say it like this. When I was a kid, my mother used to do that. My mother took us to a nude beach. The body is beautiful, but we have perverted it. And that's what I have to get back to. I have to get back to that inner beauty, not the outer, not the animalistic breaking the law of sex. I have to get back into that we are beautiful and we're all energy and we're all a soul. And when we respect the soul that is in the body, we will see marriages last longer, not just seeing a piece of meat that I could just jump on and I want to go to sleep with him and I can't this. So this is going to be really good. I'm going to also find out, okay, so when do y'all have sex? Do you know Jewish people have sex to reproduce, one, when their culture is to put a sheet in between each other and there's a hole in it, and that's how they have intercourse. So it's all different things. And why are we so, when it comes down to our culture, our subculture, in our home, sex was a normal conversation. Sex was a normal conversation. Now, sex is it's a dirty word, but everybody's doing it. Everybody's having this polyamorous relationship, 4 or 5 women sneaking out, but we don't want to talk about it. When I date out of my race, we'll see how they feel about talking about it. I know when it comes down to Indians and certain things, they're really open to it. I have been to, so I did my first Reiki circle on Saturday, and so many things has been open inside of me when it comes down to seeing, and it's a whole it's really different. You would have to look it up. But one of the things that a lot of Reikis are Indian, and the body is beautiful, and they will actually, because they're not dealing with your body, they're dealing with your soul. So they're very open to the sexuality of when it comes down to a body, and they don't look at it as, I'm going to jump in bed with this person. They look at what's the energy that's running through the body, what needs to be open. You got your third eye, forehead, your crown, you know how they say in the Bible, crown of your head to the soles of your feet? Yeah, that was all. And we have to explore more, because I hope that whoever that I do, and one of the things that I did put in eHarmony, I put in there that I don't mind people with other religions. I really don't want people with religions. Okay. I don't really deal with religion, so I told them that I really prefer people that was not religious but spiritual. But, you know, when we look at the Bible, we look at Buddhism, we look at Hinduism, and they're all great similarity that where everything flows together. So when Jesus was telling, I don't know for Jesus, but it's from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. That's the crown chakra. And what is actually, and I remember years ago when I was really practicing Christianity, really, really strong, I became so religious, but one of the things I was doing was the enter of the soul and how things entered into your soul. And one of the things I talked about is the hands and the head, but I didn't know that I was really connected and tapped into the cosmic level of when it comes down to different types of belief. So I am universal. I've learned I'm so universal. So I am just excited to see the different religions and beliefs and stuff that they do, because I am not afraid. I don't live in this dogma mentality where, oh, it's going to this and it's going to that. No, nothing can hurt me. If you've been my friend, or if anybody has known me, that I've crossed over so many things. And I know my grandmother, she was powerful. They used to put things in her backyard and do things to her, and she wasn't going anywhere until it was time. When you learn your energy, when you learn who you are, when you learn all the things that can connect to you and the balance, the greatest thing that I've learned is to disconnect from people. And people don't know they're vampires. People don't know that they can actually draw out and suck out certain things out of you. And it's not that they're meaning to do it, and you might not be strong enough for it. So that's a whole nother thing. So I'm just excited about really learning all these different cultures. And I'm excited, and I hope you hear me and maybe sit back and think, maybe we all need to come out, not dating to find a man and go pay your bills and keep you this but to find a person that you really connect with and you get to know and learn. And maybe true intimacy will come out of this. Maybe now that I will not, if we did end up together, I will not be sitting up here trying to have intercourse, but have intimacy with the person, and we will be inseparable, because it's not the body I'm going to be with, it's the soul, and they will be my soulmate. And anything I do attract to me is in me. So if I attract someone manipulative, cunning, backstabbing, dirty, guess what? I need to go check myself, and it doesn't matter what color they are. I love when my coach said to me today, she said, girl, African American men know the game, but they've taught me the game so well that when I do run into that other race, I'll know how to spot the game out. I've been taught well of the game. But do I judge them for the game? Or do I learn? Thank you. Do I learn how to fix myself? Is that other person good for me? Are they pulling out the love in me that I really is locked into myself? Do I go with that white man, that Indian man, that Chinese man? And Chinese, what I love about the Asian culture, they're really into Buddhism and they're into meditation. And I got into the meditation. I got into just getting to my higher self and getting that one with God. So are they going to bring that other side out of me? I don't know. But it's time for me to find out. It's time for me to stop stereotyping people because they're a different color, they're a different race, they're a different culture, and get to know who they are on the inside and stop looking at the outside. So that's why I am now doing this experiment of this different race and different type of people and energy. Now, the only thing that you might want to pray for me for is, I still take prayers. Yeah, Buddha pray. Yeah, Hinduism pray. Yeah, Jesus pray. Yeah, I told you I do Jesus. The food. Okay, so food. I don't know if I'm going to eat a koala. And when I went to Alabama, that was a big culture shock right there. Now Alabama, they eat possum. Ooh. I didn't really stomach the possum, but there's some things that, you know, that they do, different cultures eat, that I might have to say, okay, I'll try it. I know that my grandmother used to love octopus, and I'm like, ew, I would, just looking at it, look nasty. But guess what I found out? I found out that octopus is calamari. They gave it a pretty name. When I found out that an octopus was calamari, oh my goodness, I could have like choked. But guess what? I've been eating it and it hasn't bothered me. So that's another thing I'm going to have to try. I'm going to have to try their foods. I'm going to have to try different things. You know, like I said, I'm not going to go, the first date is not going to be us going to dinner. The first date is going to be us going to something educational, science museum, health museum, flying away or something. What if he said, would you like to go to my Buddhist temple? Am I going to say no? Try it. As long as we're not going to go cut off a human head and steal their body parts, I don't think I could do that. So I have my limitations. Know your limitations. This is why I'm doing the experiment, because I want to know my limitations. How far am I going to go? And I'm laughing about it, but hey, have a problem. And I call my grandmother culture. My grandmother would tell you, go get a chicken, cut off the head of the chicken, take the blood of the chicken, and put it around, and all this ritual. I told my grandmother back in the days, I said, you know what, honey? I am so frugal. I'm like, all this stuff that we have to do to get a blessing. I used to like Jesus, you know, because he was free. And I didn't have to do all that stuff. He already did the blood stuff. So, but I say that to say that these are cultures. These are cultures that you might have to, wow, can I embrace this? Can I actually deal with this? Anyone you end up with is always going to be like you. Always going to have your inner energy, your heart of who you really are. And that's what my journey is for. Who's holding my inner heart? Who's holding me? For me, I am very spiritual. I don't do a lot of ritualistic things. And I am with this new age, when I say new age, where I take a little bit of everything and what works for me. And the person that's with me will be the same thing. They're going to take a little bit of everything that worked for us. And we know our purpose. We know why we were sent here and what we were sent to do. Not to be in the bed all the time, but what we were actually sent to do. If the person have to have children, if they have children, that's cool. I have children, that's cool. I'm even open if they want more children. If they want more children, we have to make a decision that either we're going to adopt or they want to have it, someone have it natural from their own DNA, that's fine. But I have to know what I like and what I don't like. So, I thank you all for watching. I hope you play this back. And again, it's my journey. So any comments of what I am deciding to do, you know, you can inbox it. But if you put it on my Facebook, I'm going to take it off. Because it's my journey. And I think us women, we really need to get our spice, our sugar back in our spice. We've lost it. And I think this is a great way of us getting it back. Well, me getting it back. Me going out there exploring new horizons, new things, new people within the earth, and just find out, who am I really? Who is this new beautiful woman that has came out the cocoon? Because I can't go back to the cocoon. A butterfly actually has eaten up all the things around the cocoon, and now they have grown their wings to fly. You've never heard a butterfly say, I wish I was a cocoon. I want to go back to the cocoon. No, I'm not going back to the cocoon. I'm going to stay right where I'm at, and I'm going to enjoy this journey. and see where it takes me. So, thank you all for listening, and happy rest of the day. Happy Monday. Just, basically, and when I say pray, not P-R-E-Y, because we have a tendency of praying people will on each other of what we wanted. But my greatest prayer for people now, when they ask me to pray or whatever it is that you're going through, God, let your will be done. Only God knows my will on my journey. So if anyone is going to pray for this journey, or even see, because yes, I can feel your energy. I can feel your negative energy, and yes, I know how to ward it off and whatever I need to do. But it's time consuming. Come on, people. Let's love one another for who we are and for whatever journey we're going on. So, God, let your will be done. Because that's who's been working in my life anyway, all these years. It's his will. And as many times people has put mojo, hoodoo, voodoo, and all this stuff on me and talk against me, I'm still getting stronger, more beautiful. I will be 51 next month. Oh my goodness. And I feel like I'm 16. And look it. So anything that anyone is trying to throw at me, I just want to say to everyone that is not agreeing, you might need to go back and go check yourself, because it's not working. Maybe God wants you to go on your own journey and find yourself. Have a wonderful day. Well, rest of the night. Bye.